47 Ronin opens with an ancient Japanese fairy story. Previously, Japan was home to witches, demons, and samurais. At the period, Japan was ruled by an emperor named Shogun Sumeyoshi, and it was divided into various provinces, all of which were hostile to one another. They have several customs, one of which is that foreigners or mixed-blood people cannot be elevated to the status of noble. The samurai who failed to protect their master would be deeply ashamed of their subjects. They will regress and become Ronin. Ronin is a samurai who has lost or parted from their master. Japan has a mythology concerning the 47 Ronin. The legend begins with a frightened teenage lad named Kai fleeing the bamboo jungle. Nobody knows anything about his origins. Japanese people say he was reared by the devil in the heart of the Tengu forest. Kai, weary from running, eventually fell into a tiny river in Eiko province. He was discovered by a male samurai named Oishi Kuranosuke. He noticed a scratch on the back of Kei's head. He also believes Kai is a member of the devil. When Oishi attempts to kill him, their lord Asano intervenes. Asano urged Oishi to take Kai to his home for adoption. Asano is the leader of the Eiko province or kingdom. He let Kai dwell on his area but not in his kingdom. Kai lives in a little cabin near his kingdom. Kai is extremely close to Asano's daughter Micah. They both love each other, but Kai is self-aware as a mixed blood owner, so he couldn't marry into the noble class there. Long story short, 10 years have passed, and Kai is now an adult. The samurai appeared to be in the middle of the forest, hunting down the bull demon. When they were reckless, the bull demon arrived and attacked them instantly. The samurai began shooting till the bull fell, but it managed to get back up and run away from them. When the bull attempted to attack a samurai named Asano, Kai arrived and stabbed his blade into the bull's chest till it died. After the bull died, Kai removed the blade from its body and returned it to Asano. But Kai receives harsh comments from him. He stated that he would sooner die by being attacked by a bull than survive with the assistance of a mixed-blood individual. Then Asano and Oishi arrived to meet the samurai. Asano thanked Asano for killing the bull. Oishi also severed the bull's horns as a memorial to him. But when Oishi glanced at Kei's hand, he realized he had killed the bull. Then Kei spotted a white fox behind the tree with blue and gold eyes, but he disregarded it and went back to his hut. When Asano and the samurai arrive in the kingdom, he informs Micah that Shogun has designated Eiko province as the location for the yearly fighting tournament. Eiko province will compete with Nagato province. Nagato province is ruled by Lord Kira, Asano's opponent. Micah sneaks out of her realm at night to see Kai in his hut. She wants to heal the wound on his back, but he wants her to return to her realm. At the same moment, the white fox who had previously encountered Kai returned to Kira's kingdom. The fox then transformed herself into a stunning woman. The woman is Mizuki, a magician who is fiercely dedicated to Kira and will go to any length for him. Shogun and Kira went to the Eiko kingdom to prepare for the yearly tournament that evening. Kai was covertly watching the event in the kingdom. He happened to notice a woman with blue and gold eyes, similar to the white fox he had encountered in the forest. Kai reportedly told Oishi that one of Kira's concubines was a magician. However, Oishi dismisses his statements, reminding him that he is merely a mixed blood. The event was scheduled to begin the next day. Kira's fighter entered the field while Asano represented Eiko's camp. When Asano attempted to put on his clothes, a white fox approached him and enchanted him, rendering him comatose. Shikara, Kai and Oishi's son, meets Asano in a convulsion. He informs Kai that if Asano does not have a fighter, he will be extremely embarrassed. Kai finally succeeds Asano as Eiko's fighter. He covers his face with a mask and an iron cap. Finally, the fight started. Kai is thrown off during the fight as his opponent attacks him, and his mask is eventually removed. Asano was astonished to see that because Eiko's fighter was supposed to be Asano. Shogun then ordered the samurai to assassinate Kai. But Asano defends Kai and apologizes to the shogun. As a replacement, he directed his samurai to beat up Kai. Asano was deeply ashamed and upset by the occurrence. After the fight, he locked himself in his room. For those who are still spending the night in the Asano kingdom, Mizuki unexpectedly tells Kira that she senses Asano's weakness. She extracted the purple liquid and transformed it into a venomous spider. Mizuki used her might to enter Asano's room, where he was asleep. She positioned the spider over his mouth, causing the purple liquid to stream down. After waking up and mistakenly swallowing the liquid, Asano had a hallucination that he heard Micah scream. He took his sword and headed into Kira's room. How astonished he was to witness Kira sleeping with Micah. When Asano was about to slice Kira's back, Oishi stopped him. It turns out it was all a hallucination, although Kira was alone in his room. Shogun sentenced him to death because he attacked Kira without justification. In the morning, Asano will be executed according to samurai tradition, by stabbing a sword into his own stomach and pulling his intestines to restore his good name. Micah screamed when she witnessed Asano stab himself in the stomach, followed by Oishi, who sliced his neck. Following the execution, Shogun stated that the Eiko samurai were now Ronin. Shogun ordered Micah to marry Kira after a 1-year waiting period. After Shogun fled the Eiko kingdom, Kira declared Micah his. He also asks Oishi not to seek revenge for Asano's death. He also deported Kai to Dot's Island and made him a slave there. He also orders the samurai to confine Oishi for a year. Meanwhile, the remaining samurai were ejected from Eiko. Long story short, after a year in prison, Oishi was released and sent to a secluded village. Chikara and his wife, Riku, meet Oishi. She informs him that Kira will shortly marry Meika, and that Kai is now a slave on Dot's Island. Oishi directs Chikara to locate 3 horses and Riku to spread the word that she is divorced from Oishi. This he did to keep Riku safe from Kira's brutality. After Chikara gathered 3 horses, Oishi sent him to the Ronin and instructed them to wait by the dark lake. Meanwhile, Oishi will travel to Dot's Island to free Kai, and he instantly goes there. Oishi arrives to Dot's Island and witnesses Kai dueling with an arch. After Kai overcame him, Oishi attempted to approach him, but Kai assaulted him. After falling due to Kei's strike, Oishi informs him that Micah requires his assistance. Kai saw what was going on and departed with Oishi right away. After a while, they attempted to flee and eventually succeeded. In the morning, Kai and Oishi encounter the surviving Ronin in the Black Lake. They pledge to avenge Asano's death and condemn Kira to hell. Then Oishi opens Eiko's map, and he takes the Ronin to Utu village to obtain a sword. He instructs Ronin Aizoge to penetrate Kira's palace shrine in search of information on him. Meanwhile, one of Kira's samurai informs him that Oishi has been released from prison and plans to attack. He instantly directed Mizuki to assassinate Oishi. At the same time, Oishi and the Ronin landed in Utu village, but they only met Kira's samurai. Kaida launched an immediate attack and quickly slaughtered them. Following that, they spent the night in the village. While relaxing in one of the unoccupied houses, Oishi informed him that they still lacked weapons. Kai also proposed that Oishi go to the center of the Tengu woodland. There they might obtain fine swords. Then he admitted to being raised by the devil in the heart of the Tengu jungle. The devil taught him how to fight and perform magical moves. He will only do magic when the situation is critical. They instantly went there. Meanwhile, Aizoge has infiltrated the realm and is currently at Kira's royal entertainment venue. There he meets Mizuki, who pretends to be a comfort lady, but he is unaware that she is a witch. The following day, Kai, Oishi, and the Ronin arrive in the Tengu forest. They find an ancient temple where Kai once lived. Then he led Oishi into the temple as the Ronin waited outside. Kai instructs Oishi that when in the temple, he must not draw his sword, even if there is a threat. When they reached inside the temple, they discovered the Tengu kneeling in front of a big statue. Kai instantly went to the secret room, where they had placed a jammed sword. Soon he was visited by a Tengu god with a snake-like face. Tengu god told him about his beginnings initially. Kei's parents were farmers who married an Englishman. However, the farmers did not appreciate his presence and flung him into the wilderness, until Kai was discovered by Tengu god and taught many things at this temple. Kai also stated that he came to the temple to reclaim the Tengu god's sword. He also let Kai to grab the weapon. But Oishi discovers Asano and the other Ronin entering the temple as well. Asano drew his blade, which irritated Tengu and led to an attack. Despite his terror of the circumstance, Oishi listened to Kei's instructions not to draw his blade. Kai then used shadow moves to fight Tengu god for control of the blade. He was able to take the sword until Tengu god was impressed. After that, he encountered Oishi, who appeared perplexed because all of the Ronin had vanished and been replaced by the Tengu sword. It turns out that what Oishi experienced were hallucinations, and Ronin were still safe outside the temple. Kai and Oishi then emerged from the temple armed with swords. They went out of the woodland. On the way, he demonstrates the might of the Tengu sword. The sword can chop through tree trunks without burning energy. Then, one of the Ronin Baso attempted to prove it, but failed, maybe due to his excessive consumption of kale. When they arrived in Utu Hamlet, Asogai approached Oishi unexpectedly. He informs Oishi that Kira will visit his ancestral shrine later that evening. Knowing this, Oishi intended to surround him. When darkness fell, Oishi and the other Ronin approached the shrine in question. When they arrived, they found Kira praying at the temple. As they were going to attack him, Asoga vomited and Kira transformed into Mizuki. Then Mizuki unleashed a massive fireball toward the Ronin. Kira's fighters soon arrived and attacked them. They were able to escape, however. After the fire had faded, Mizuki snatched Oishi's sword. She assumed Oishi had already been churned to death. When Oishi and the Ronin arrive in Yudu village, Kai cures their wounds, including Beso's. In his final breath, he admitted to throwing stones at Kai in the past. He apologized to Kai, and then he died. The next day, Kai and Chikara noticed a group of dancers coming to Kira's palace. They also challenged and urged them to hide Kai, Oishi, and the rest of their gang. They also dressed similarly and proceeded to Kira's palace, where they planned to marry. While on his way, Asano stopped to apologize for his harsh comments and thanked Kai for saving him from the bull monster. Oishi and the others then signed a letter with blood-stained handprints to commemorate their efforts for Lord Asano. Kira and Micah's wedding night has arrived. Oishi and several Ronin were able to enter dressed as a troupe of dancers. Meanwhile, the other Ronin infiltrates different locations and kills Kira's palace guards. While Oishi was performing on stage, one of the royal guards threw an arrow at him, exposing his disguise. The Ronin started to attack. They were also able to kill Kira's toughest warrior by using a firecracker. When Kira saw this, she raced away with Micah. But she rebelled and headed in a different way than him. Oishi is in charge of dealing with Kira, while Kai is responsible for locating Micah. Kai and Mecha embraced right away after meeting. Mizuki suddenly appeared in the guise of a white dragon. Then Kai pulled out the Tengu sword to fight her. After their fight, Kai was able to kill Mizuki. Similarly, Oishi managed to slice Kira's head. Then Oishi carried Kira's head out to show the samurai. Seeing this, the samurai bowed to him and ceased fighting. The following day, Oishi and the Ronin visit Eiko to pay their respects at Asano's tomb. Then, Shogun approached them. He was furious with what Oishi done. He also admitted his misdeeds and requested that the Shogun honor his Ronin's efforts. Shogun believes they should all be hanged. However, because he admired Asano, he punished them the same as Asano. Kai encountered Micah before they were executed, and they pledged to meet again in the next world. When the execution was about to commence, Shogun ordered Chikara to come out and stay alive to ensure that Oishi's descendants had a successor. Now 47 Ronin, including Kai, are ready to commit suicide. However, in history, Kei's name is not mentioned, although Chikara's is. Likewise for Asano, who should be Yoshida. The movie concludes, the moral that can be gained is not to underestimate those of different ethnicities than us, for they may be the ones that assist us when we are in need.